we'll just jump right in, and the replay will get put on to the Team Dynamite YouTube channel for easy replay access. It'll be there. They are going to be unlisted though, just so you know. You'll only be able to access them through the link. But as you saw, there's a unit in Team Dynamite now with the link to all the weekly trainings. The reason why I made them unlisted is because, like, you know, people don't really need to see our weekly, what we're talking about, questions, this and that. Like, that's kind of stuff like people coming across our YouTube channel doesn't need to see our weekly meeting. Do you know what I mean? So I made them unlisted, but the list will all go up in the unit in the Team Dynamite page, so you can find them, because you'll just need the link to find it is all. From public, you won't be able to view them. I thought that was the best. Yeah. So welcome. So we were going to talk about, I'm going to unmute you, Mandy. Or can you unmute? There you go. So we wanted to talk about power hours tonight, because power hours are amazing. Put in the comments if any of you have done a power hour, or maybe more of you have done them than not. But if you haven't done a power hour, let us know. I'm just curious as to what you got, who has done them and who hasn't. And we're going to kind of talk a little bit about them tonight, because I think that everybody's busy and trying to fit like, a lot of people just like try to fit their business in some, you know, like, it's important to do something for your business every day. And if you did one power hour every single day, your business would move forward. Actually, I just read a really good quote today. Listen to this quote, and it's going to pertain literally to this. Okay, are you ready for this? It's a Chinese proverb, and it's going to blow your mind. It says, do not, okay, no, it doesn't say do not. It says, be not afraid of going slowly, be afraid only of standing still. Right? Isn't that good though? Like, honestly, I think that's so good. So don't be afraid of going slow. Don't think that that's a bad thing if you move slow. It's be afraid more if you stand still and do nothing. So it kind of pertained to tonight as far as I see it, because if you have no minutes in your day, but you can find 1 hour to work your business and you bang out a power hour, you did not stand still for your business today. You moved your business forward today, right? Even if it's slow and even if it's by this increment, you still move forward. And so that's what the power hours are really designed for, to fit in. So when people give you the objection, I don't have time to build my business, I don't have time, I'm so busy, blah. Well, do you have an hour? And do you have 2 half-hour pockets? Maybe you could break it up into 2 half hours. If you can get the whole hour, 15-minute increments, do 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes on your break. You'll have the checklist of things to do, bang out some of those, go to what you need to do, bang out some more. Like, you can find pockets. So these are just great solutions for objections. When people come to you with objections about time, well, do the power hour, break it down. Or if you have a little more time, do 1 or 2 power hours a day. But they keep you so focused. Did you want to say anything about power hours, Mandy, before? I'm going to screen share some things with you guys. I downloaded some power hours and I'm going to screen share them with you. They're all in Dynamite anyways, but just to refresh your memory, I'm going to show you. But did you want to say anything, Mandy?
Yeah, no, I think we should jump right into it. I honestly am a huge, huge fan of the power hour. I feel like anybody who is stuck, or anyone who is new and just doesn't really feel like they know what type of income producing activities they should be incorporating into their DMOs, always revert back to the power hour. Screenshot this, save it, search power hour in Team Dynamite. It will pop up. It's like the 3rd or 4th down. Save it in a note so you can always go back to it. If you're just sitting there and you have 20 minutes, you're at a doctor's office, you're whatever, go and be like, hey, what could I do instead of sitting here scrolling Instagram? It will tell you what to do. It is so, so good.
Yeah, I love it. I love what you said there about if somebody's new and you don't know what to tell them, or they don't know what to do, defaulting to the power hour is really good. And when Mandy said IPA and she said DMO, if anyone knew or was watching here, IPA means income producing activities. It means activities you do that like result in like income or potential income, like things you do to create income, versus like scrolling is not income producing. Reaching out to somebody is income producing. And DMO means daily method of operation. So your DMOs, what are you doing on a daily basis? What's your checklist? What are you doing in a day for your business? And that's what a DMO means. So I'm going to show you some examples. Now, here's the thing about power hours. There's no one right or wrong formula. There's no one or right outline. You can make it long. Like there's so many options of what to do with a power hour. So I'm going to show you a couple of different ones. We have checklists in our back office. I'm going to pull some up. Like there's checklists in the back office. If you go to the resources, they have daily checklists, monthly checklists that Monet created that you can print up and you can check the things to do. So there's checklists back there. Don't forget that. Our back office resources actually have things made up for us like this. We tend to make our own things up, which is fun. But at the same time, Monet does provide us with these type of tools. So don't be afraid to go play in your back office and go under the resources to find those things. So right now I'm going to share the screen. Please forgive me while I figure what I'm doing here. Okay, screen. I think this is it. Maybe not. Is that it? Oh, share. Okay, let me see. Share. Okay. Is that sharing? Are you seeing my Zoom thing right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what am I don't know what I don't have them labeled. So let's just see what I pull up. It'll be a surprise. Okay. What's a surprise? Surprise. What's this? Okay. Surprise. That's page 2. Okay. Surprise. That's not the right one. Surprise.
So that's a good one that we start with, the fudging one.
I'll start with the fudging power hours. So Erin Field Fudge does this one, and she's tweaked it a lot of times since, and she actually created it from something I did, and then she recreated it. So it's like a compilation of like different people's power hours.
Yeah, Amy Curry was a big part of that too. A whole bunch.
And so it's been a compilation of many hands playing in this. And it's probably changed since this one, but this is fine. It's fine, right? It's great if this is what you have. So this is posted in Team Dynamite. If you pull up IPA or you pull up Power Hour in the search bar, these things will pop up. So for example, the first 3 minutes, go and message people that come up on your Facebook, like happy birthday. Now, the reason why this is good is because at the end of the day, your goal, like, do you guys know what the goal is besides signing people up? Obviously that's the end goal, but like your goal on a daily basis is to have conversations with people, because those conversations build into relationships, which translates into sales and like over time, because you start talking about things, you build relationships, they see your stuff, yada, yada. But if you're not having those conversations in your private inbox, then the sales likely won't be there, because not often does a sale happen straight from a post that you did. Like if you did a post and someone buys from that post, maybe 1% of people do that, but most times you're making posts to show value and to get trust from people, but it leads to conversations in the inbox. So this great, this happy birthday strategy is really great because it's a non-spammy way to touch base with somebody. And it literally, because your birthday year, literally that do this every single day, by the end of the year, you've touched every single person on your friends list at some point during the year. You would have had a conversation with them at least once. What's that?
That's a good point.
Right? Because it's only once a year they have a birthday. So once a year, you're going to at least touch those people. So if you do it every single day, you'll reach everybody by the end of the year. So this is great because we don't like sending hey girl messages, right? Like we're beyond that. I mean, some people might do that, but we don't duplicate that. I don't really do it. I mean, people are comfortable, but it's not something like we do I don't think, like some people do. No. Anyways, it's fine. So this avoids the hey girl message. You're just being a human, your birthday list comes up, hey, happy birthday. And you could text it. You could do a little video and say, hey, happy birthday, and make it more personal. Would that not blow somebody's socks off if you sent yourself saying, hi? They probably just on the fact that you personally wish them a happy birthday. If you make your birthday wishes memorable and like you actually put thought into them, you'll probably start conversations with people. You could lead it into something else. Hey, happy birthday. What do you have planned for today? What are you up to? Like, it just starts the conversation of being weird. Who's not going to thank you for wishing them a happy birthday? They're not going to say happy birthday. Why did you message me? It's gonna be a happy conversation. It's a happy conversation starter. It's gonna start on a happy note. So I love the happy birthday one. So it's like you have time for today. If you were so busy in your day and you legit had no minutes, and you spend 5 minutes going through your birthday list and wished everybody happy birthday, that would be amazing. IPA, in my opinion, because how many conversations are you going to start today? That's going to be a lot of conversations that you're going to get started, because you're obviously going to continue with the conversation. You're not just going to leave it at that. You're going to keep asking questions and talk and keep going, right? So anywho.
Can you keep talking? I'll be right back. Keep talking.
Yeah, no problem. I can keep talking. I'm very good at that. So happy birthday is great. Another power hours are all just, power hours are literally an hour of jam-packed producing. So every single thing you do, power hour is producing. So that when you bet an hour, you bet all right. So this one is, you don't have to do this in order. You don't have to all this. So feel free to write them down, screenshot whatever you want. So if you look under your friends, so people know, people know, it's great. A great strategy is because a lot of people are like, I don't know. If your inbox is dead, that's a sign that you need to have more conversations. So start people's happy birthday, or go get new people looking at your stuff. Get new faces in your network. So, if you have like mutual friends in common, maybe if you don't feel right adding them right away, like strangers, it's not like, why did you but if you don't, yeah.
It's really glitchy. I'm not sure why, but you're cutting out quite a bit, actually.
Wow.
Sorry.
The bearer of bad news. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Just go slower, Amy. It's not liking when you go really fast. Just go.
Oh, we're asking for the impossible.
I know.
You guys are on me tonight. Okay. I will talk slow.
Or pause more. There we go. How about you just pause more?
Thank you. I'm on it. I will try.
But of course, now it's fine.
Right? Okay. Let's do it. Okay. That's for Jackie. Okay. All right. So add 5 to 10 people. If you feel nervous or weird about adding complete strangers, then maybe just start loving pick somebody that you want to kind of target. That's so bad word, but someone you think you have in common, and start like commenting on their things. Give them some social media love, build a social media connection, and then they might reciprocate back. So that's an easy way to like kind of love on their stuff, comment on their stuff, to kind of make your presence known. If you're not, don't feel right adding them yet. But my philosophy behind friend requests is they're either going to accept it or not. Because how many friend requests do you have in your social media right now? And do you judge them? No, probably. Maybe you look at if they're like weird names or if they're fake profiles, you might say no. But do you get offended if for a friend request? Not really. So no one else will probably get offended. There is some weird people that will question you. Why'd you add me? How do you know me? And then you just say, oh, you just came up in my friends list. You look pretty cool. I like, find something on their Facebook to say, oh, I love that photo from Florida you posted. Like, me and my family want to go back. Like, blah, blah, blah. Where do you live? Like, what do you like to do? Like, just, hey, if they inbox you and ask you a question, they just started the conversation for you. Golden, right?
Yep.
So they did you a favor. So there's a win-win with that. So there's that. Commenting in news feeds is a great strategy, like love and comment on people's news feeds. Going into your stories and look at people's stories and commenting on their stories, because it goes right into their inbox. When you comment on someone's story, it goes right into their inbox. Hello, conversation started. And it's not weird because you're commenting on their story. They posted it.
It's the best way, in my
right?
opinion. Yeah.
You're directly in their inbox. You're in there. You slipped into their DM, right? You're right there. So you can just start talking. And then checking in with current VIPs and market partners is a really good thing to do with your current customers. So let's go to the next page. I think this might be the second page here. I already did that one, didn't I? Yes, I did. Try this one.
The
Okay.
stories challenge, Amy, did we do the stories challenge?
I touched on it, just like talking to stories. Like,
Is this the one seeing who's watching you? Was that part of the stories challenge?
the stories, comment on other people's stories, but I think the stories challenge come up, but I'll touch base with that since you said it now, just in case it doesn't come up again. So stories, if you look at who's watching your stories, this is a good one. I don't know if you guys all do this, but
I think it's important, very important.
it's so important because you can see who's watching you. You know who's actually interested in your content. So I look for people in my stories that aren't in Monate, and then I go and start commenting on their stories or on their profile because they're watching me. So I want to give them some love and some attention, because they're identifying, like, they're watching me. So I should like amp up, move this along a little bit, like do something with this, right? So go comment on their stuff, go comment on one of their stories, give them a message. They're watching you, right? So those are key indicators of kind of warm market, is people watching you. So like sift through it, like you sort, right? You sort your people, like take out the market partners and then start connecting with the people that aren't. Did you have anything to add to that? That was pretty much it for that, right?
Yeah, no, I think that one for me, that for people that are trying to, like, you get that feedback a lot from new market partners, like when they run out of their warm market. Well, how do I get sales now? Like, who do I talk to? And when people say I have no one else to talk to, there's always someone to talk to, because there's always someone new watching your stories. If you're always adding like the 5 to 10 people a day new into your Facebook or Instagram. So that is why it's so important to continuously have stories going and to continuously be talking. Like Erin's a really good example of this, Erin Field. If you look at her stories, us as market partners, we watch her stuff. It's like the same shit all the time. But she's not doing that for us. She's doing that because she's continuously adding new people into her market, and those people haven't seen it yet. And that's really all that matters, right? She's constantly showing people her products, right? So over and over and over again, like a shopping channel, but in an interesting way. So that's why they go hand in hand, adding new people and then the stories. And then it all kind of flows together so that you always have new people to talk to and to build relationships with.
Absolutely. And then another IPA would be spending time following up with people that you've already talked to, or that you've started kind of like, you know, I want to say targeting in a way. I hate using that word. But, you know,
But yeah, true though.
you initiated contact. with that
Yeah.
sounds so bad, but you know what I mean. So yeah, so those are just some this here has a bunch of ideas of how to do some follow-ups. Like you could invite people, like these are some ways to follow up with people and get the ball keep it rolling with people, like checking in with those you've sent samples to. If you have conversations going, you know, to those people, keep going with that conversation with them. Invite people to try a sample, or ask for feedback, or watch a video of, you know, one of our videos, or come to an opportunity call, an online event, you know, or something like that, or an in-person event if you're doing them in your area. You know, maybe there's a 3-way call. Like there's so many reasons and things to move people along. Like there's tons of ideas that you can do, but this spending time doing this, inviting people into the next step of the funnel, is really great income producing activity. And so then here's the who's watching you came up here. So that's who's watching you, who liked and commented on your posts, not just in your stories, but like on your videos, on your posts. Who is liking and commenting and interacting with you? Sift out the market partners. Who there is not market partners that is talking to you and that is showing that interest in your things. So the great thing to do about this when you initiate contact or continue contact is ask questions, and open-ended ones, not ones that are yes and no, but like actually thoughtful questions that will make them answer more than yes or a no. And that will keep conversations moving, and you won't get stuck if they're, you know, you're kind of going with back and forth with some banter there. Just really, you know, building some rapport and relationship. And then obviously checking in with your team is a great thing to do. Couple minutes, just kind of touch base, invite them to a call. Maybe there's a training or power hour, or maybe they want to set some goals, or maybe there's an event coming along. Just have a reason and talk to your team at least for like a minute. You know, give them some love. All right, so you know, like that's Erin's power hour, and I had some other ones here as examples. Here's a daily checklist that I got from this was from Team Fearless. Is this like the whole size of it? Is this full screen? Oh, okay, that is it. How do I unscreen you? Oh my gosh. Oh dear. Okay, I full screened it and I don't know how to undo the screen. Ah!
What about escape?
Escape. Here, guy. Yes, you're so smart. Okay, escape. All right. So, okay. So daily checklist, track numbers, write goals. Like, so this is something that could be done. It's not necessarily a power hour, but if you feel you want stuff to do that are income producing, here's some ideas, right? You know, you could incorporate this into your power hour, or, hey, this is just what I only have time for so much. I'm going to do this today. So this was Team Fearless. This is what Mandy Schweers gave us a while back. So looking at your numbers, like look your goal for the month, and break it down into weeks, like what numbers you need to see. And so you can break it into weekly and daily goals. If you know what your big goal is for the month, like you need so and so much GB or DV, you can identify how you're moving along weekly, daily, right? Like every day and every week where you're at. So that's a really great thing if you want to track your business. If you have some goals you're doing, do some personal development. Interact with 2 Facebook friends, make 2 new connections, stop talking to the same people over and over again, right? We get stuck on that. We just keep talking to the same people over and over again. So new connections, post on IG or Facebook, you know, about personal, business, or hair stuff. Follow up 2 of your leads, maybe they're hot or cold. This is posted, by the way, in Dynamite as well to find it. It's if you just search IPA, it came up under IPA when I went and found it. Check it with 2 members of your team. So this is a great little checklist. If you don't have a lot of time today, bang, like you got stuff done today. You should feel good. If you checked all these off, I would feel good about my day. If I did all of that, bang. right? And if it took me all day to do it and I had to break it up in a couple minutes here and there, but I did it, it would feel really good at the end of the day. I'm sure you'd feel like you're moving along.
Yeah, that's a great checklist. I haven't seen that one in a while. I need to pull that out myself.
Yeah, it's a good one. So here's another one, and I'm not sure if this is it is a Monat one because it's labeled at the bottom. So this should be in the back office. It is posted in Team Dynamite. Checklist. There's a daily task, there's a weekly task, and a monthly task. And so this is their version of a checklist. So it could be your daily could be your power hour, and then looking at what you need to do over the week, you can see what you need to do over the week. It's not necessarily that you do every day, but make sure you get something done that week. And then monthly, like make sure these things happen monthly. This is a wonderful, wonderful checklist, especially for new people or new leadership, people that are new into leadership roles. This is really great because it has you hosting, Meet Monates. It has you connecting with your downline. It has you, doing a lot of great things that I think that if you do as a leader, your team will do as well. It really duplicates really great behavior. So if you can't read it really well, it is kind of fuzzy. I'll just sort of touch a little bit about what it says, like daily task. Am I glitching now? Am I talking slow enough?
No, you're good now.
It's probably because when I get so excited, I talk really high and fast. I'm like, but if I'm down, I'm bringing it down. We're good. Okay. So daily task, share Monat with 3 people, add 5 new contacts to your list, follow up with, minimum of 3 people, and then allow 15 minutes of personal development. And they gave you examples of what to do for all of those things. All the examples are there. We've touched on all those. Weekly tasks, connect with 2 to 3 market partners in your GV group once a week for a group or team coaching call, things like that. If you want to talk with them and move them along, that's great leadership to touch base with your downline and organize some coaching and stuff like that, goal setting, things like that. Self-training, it's really great to self-development is one, but training is another. If there's things you need to learn, is taking some training, take some time for yourself to learn some new skills. And then in the month, if you can bang out 2 Meet Monates, maybe 1 virtual and 1 live, if you can do live, COVID kind of not really easy for that anymore. So maybe 2, if you did 2 Meet Monates, events live, like, wouldn't that be fabulous? If you don't host it yourself, then maybe make a point of attending or asking to guest on somebody's, and then bring your people to those, and then connect with all your direct there, and then follow up and complete your block. So, and then there's other bonus things to do if you have extra time, new posts, recognition posts, replying to comments, like there's all those fun things. So this is a really great one. Don't you guys agree? Like Monat did a great job, I think, with that one. And then there's one more example of one. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm going to try to see. Okay, let's see. I had the one that Janice Higgins, that's not the one. That was the one that I recorded. I recorded a live power hour in person. So if you don't feel comfortable leading a power hour and you want to do one, you can watch live. I recorded it real time. People didn't know what I was doing in the team. They're like, are you okay? Because there's like a point, because I let it go real time. So you don't have to watch on. So you can literally put it on and go, because I didn't want people to have to stop. I went real time. So in the parts where it's quiet and I'm just sitting there like doing my thing, are you okay? You're really quiet today. People were like concerned for that. You're so funny. Anywho, okay, so this is Janice's, here we go. Okay, so this is Janice Higgins' one, and this is the one that I did the live one with. This is the one I was going by when I recorded it. So this is a really, really good one. It's very detailed, and there's lots of stuff in here. So it even tells
the one that started it all.
Yeah, this is the one that started it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this is great because they even give you a prep list of what you need before you go in hour. So you can tell your team, tell yourself, this is what we need before going into it, having your, your VIP list ready, your team list ready, your schedules ready, so that you can be most effective in your hour. If you're going to bang out the hour, have all your tools before you go into the hour, and then bang, you're not going to be spending time looking for resources, looking, oh, where's my event link? Where's this? Where's that? Like, you have your stuff, your list is here, your lists are here, everything's here, and you're ready to bang out the power hour. So to do an opening prayer or put the focus in the intentions, which is really nice. Like, she does a 1-minute meditation. That's really nice. I like that she kind of incorporates that. It sets the tone for the hour, which I think is quite important to get yourself grounded. If you're going to do the full hour, you're ready to go. Set that tone, set that pace, set the intention of a really good power hour, and you're going to have a good power hour. I love that. And then, so the next thing she does is write things that you're grateful for and your weekly goals. Like, that's great to start off in gratitude. Like, I think, to me, that's just amazing. Like, things that you're grateful for and writing down some goals. Perfect way to start your power hour. Whoa, what did I do? Sorry. And then we have reaching out, doing your asks. So reaching out, via either phone call, voice text, messenger, all about, wanting to talk to people about the products, giving samples, visiting, asking to, do an event or share about the business. So that's just your asks, like pretty much asking, hey, are you open to hearing about this? Hey, do you want to have a host a party, or blah, blah, blah. Like, your asks is there. And then check in with your current VIPs. That's really important to do the customer service part there. And then the next part is checking in with your team, inviting them to some things. We've already gone over that. So you see a lot of the activity, you can see some things that are repeated, but obviously the ones that are repeated are really important, right? So you can see which ones are like following up, very important. Some social media, comment, and you got to put the time. If you're going to work your business on social media, you got to spend time on there, but doing the right things, not scrolling. You got to spend the time with intention to build relationships and do your work. Like, that's part of your work, is commenting on people's things, liking on people's things. And now, it's nice to comment on, your fellow team members and on Monate people, but remember, you only have so much time in your power hour. And if you're going to work your business in your power hour, try not to do the Monate interactions during your power hour. Like, for your, people that are in Monate, like, save that for off your power hour. Because if you're going to scroll and comment and get lost in social media, do it away from your hour. Try to keep your hour focused on new prospects and potentials that you're trying to get in your business. Creating a social media post, getting that done, and giving some shout outs to your team. And then, give yourself some encouragement and pat on the back that you did it. So those were some examples of power hours. Now I will stop screen sharing, because that was all I had pulled up for you today. Let me see. I see lots of chat going. I just want to touch base with the chat. Oh, Carrie. Okay, my recorded power hour is in Unit 4 of Dynamite. Yes, thank you. I forget where everything is. She's on it. Carrie's on it. And if you guys don't know, Carrie, I haven't seen Carrie in a long time. You guys may not know this, but Carrie is your upline. She is like, how you're above Serena?
Just above Serena. Yeah.
Just above Serena. Yeah. So it goes me, Serena, Carrie. So I love seeing her face, because I haven't seen her in a while. So you guys, she's your mama bear. She's our upline. So that's exciting. So nice to see you here, Carrie.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. I'm just going to go through the comments quickly and open to questions. That was kind of, Mandy, if you wanted to add things, like, it was kind of straightforward, but if you have any thoughts, feel free to start writing in the comments below, and we'll check them.
Yeah, I think really when we talk about new people a lot, because I find people, especially when they're new, are really kind of stuck, don't know. And onboarding's always been a thing. We talked about systems and lacking systems. And, in the last 5 years, we've really kind of struggled back and forth with this. And I really think that if you get somebody new and you do up their own group page and you do a launch for them, and then you give them their group to fly with, and you give them that, and then teach them how to do a power hour, and to take parts of that power hour on days that they're busy, and to really understand the income producing activities that they can pull from that whenever it's best for them. That right there, you are like giving them all they need to be so successful. Because like, I feel like 5 years ago, and Carrie, you totally will get this with us, if we had those two things 5 years ago, holy shit, right? Like, I feel like we've been running around like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off, looking for a system, looking for something like, what do I do? What do I do? Oh my God, I get a checklist together. It's so simple. We've all compiled it over the years, and now it's here, and it's like, it doesn't get any simpler than that.
Yeah. This is literally our business in an hour. Like, and you can break it down into 4 15-minute increments if you wanted to, but this is the activities. Like, when you say, what do I need to do? Like, that's it. Like, I honestly can't think of anything else of activities to do. Like, I know that you could go deeper into each thing. Like, okay, well, now what do we do for social media posts? What do we do? What do we say?
We'll do that, right? We'll break these trainings down now.
Sure.
We'll break it down going forward, but
yeah. But
right.
but for the basics, this is the basics. And if you did any one of these activities, you would move forward.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, even if you have to pick up your kid from school and you're there 15 minutes early and you're sitting in your car, you can pound off a couple of those in 15 minutes. You could at least do the stories challenge and a post.
Sure. Absolutely.
So it's better than getting lost in the TikTok scroll hole or something like that.
Exactly. If anybody has any, feel free, if you want to post in Dynamite, if you have any other versions of Power Hours that you feel you'd want to share, like if your team is using one and you want to share it with others, feel free to post it in Dynamite, and we can put it in a Power Hour unit just to show different outlines, because some people might connect with one outline better than the other, even though a lot of them are repeated activities. But yeah, if you feel like posting your Power Hour, feel free to share. We're all about collective learning and collective sharing, right? That's what we're all about. So
maybe you could pull those too, like all the screens that you shared in this Zoom, and maybe put them in like the comments of today's Zoom link.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'll do that. Because we talked about it in here, and I'll do that when I post that. I will put them all in there. Yes, that's a good idea. Many people have difficulty transitioning the conversation to inviting people to sample or take a look after engaging in conversation. Any tips? So yeah, here I always use this rule of thumb is if it feels weird or icky for you, it will feel weird and icky for the person on the other end. So if it doesn't feel like the right time to say it, then don't say it. If you feel like what I do is I like to just call it out. Sometimes, like if I'm talking to someone, I'm like, oh, you know what? I forgot to mention, or I forgot to say, like, I don't know if you've noticed, if it's someone I don't know very well and we're kind of bantering, I'll be like, like, there's so many things that I say or do, but to switch it around, but you can call it out. It's best to call it out and just say, hey, like I wanted to run something by you. I'm starting a new business. Are you open to hearing about new opportunities? Oh, I don't know if you've noticed because we're new Facebook friends, but I do post a lot about my business. Like it's shampoo and wellness stuff, blah, blah, blah. Are you open to trying new products? How are you loving what you're using right now? What's wrong with that? You're asking a question, right? Like it's how you say it. And sometimes I like to almost make it like, oh, shoot, I forgot to ask you. I wanted to talk to you about this, like kind of make it seem like you were I wanted to talk to you. Like, how do you feel about that? A lot of people get stuck in the transition because of fear of rejection. They're worried of looking like icky or like that person. So then they kind of don't, and they get stuck. But let me tell you though, you're not fooling anyone anyways, the longer you go with it anyways. You have to drop it eventually. Like you're going to have to drop it. That's what you're doing is you're making relationships to talk about business. So you can wait till they say something that gives you a clue. Like, for example, you're talking to someone, blah, 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 and then maybe they lose their job, or maybe they are having troubles financially or something. They drop something like, oh, I wish I could afford my kid to go to dance right now, but blah, blah, blah. Then you could say, well, then you talk a little back and forth, and then you could say, hey, you mentioned last week when we were talking that, you'd lost your job and you were looking for something, or you lost your job. Like, are you looking for something new? Like, is that something that you're kind of like, are you happy to like just kind of take it easy, or are you looking for something? Like, just ask questions, right? To gauge where they're sitting. And if they were like, oh, no, I'm not looking, I'm so happy to be, I needed the break, then obviously you're not going to offer them your business if they said they needed a break. But you could always say, well, if you're ever looking, I found something really good that I'm doing, and it doesn't take up a lot of my time. I work like an hour a day on my business, and I make a couple bucks. If you're ever looking, just throwing it out there. Like, just throw it out there, just kind of like, there's no right or wrong answer. I don't feel. It's all how you I feel it's intention. Like how you talk to people, what your intention is. Like, if you straight up cold message someone and you're just straight up, hey girl, don't know ya, but I think you'd be perfect for my business, you're probably going to get blocked because you don't know that person. And they're going to be like, why would you assume I'm perfect for your business? You don't know me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people don't tend to respond to that. But if you're building a relationship and you're talking on their wall, you're having conversations inside, your DMs, like, I feel like you can kind of gauge when and when you're going to transition it. They'll either say something that cues them or cues you, like maybe they'll say something in their lifestyle or a need that you identify. Then you can say, hey, just wondering, like, I happen to saw this, like, if you're open, that kind of thing. Or you could say, hey, I totally forgot, I wanted to talk to you about this earlier, but we had such great conversation, I totally forgot. I wanted to mention to you that I do this business. I don't know if you see my posts or not, because we're fairly new friends, but this is what I do. Things like that. So I don't know if that helps at all, but that's kind of what I do. I kind of gauge the conversation and find lead ways to go into it. And so you don't get stuck in the friend zone, but you gotta drop it. And all you gotta do is just say, no big deal. No big deal if you're not open. Like, I find if you say, are you open? I find that really helps a lot to ask that question. Are you open to new products, or do you love what you're using? Are you open to, a new opportunity? Are you happy where you're at? Like, no pressure either way. I just curious because I love what I do and I love what I use and I'm happy to share it. But I mean, no pressure to even hear what I have to say. I still want to be friends with you regardless. You know what I mean? Make people feel that you still want to be friends with them no matter what. You don't have to actually say that if you don't want to, but actually do that. Actions speak louder than words. Keep being their friend even if they say no, because they are still watching you. Yeah, it's good to hear others people's perspective. Yeah. If anyone else, feel free to talk, you guys. Like, don't feel that this is open discussion. I love hearing from other people, and the team would probably love to hear from other people. So that's a great, Heather brought a really great question. So if anyone has something that they're doing that helps transition from that connection to the ask, feel free to unmute and share.
Something else I think that we always need to remind ourselves, because we all feel like that, I think at some point, is like, the objection, the rejection. But what if, like, you were never asked? What if the person that introduced you to money was too scared to ask you? What if Amy was too, like, scared to ask me? What if, like, she, you know what I mean? Like, that would suck, right? So remember,
you'd probably be more mad at me now if you'd be like, why didn't you tell me earlier?
If I was still rolling burritos, I'd be off the bridge by now.
Oh my gosh. But can you imagine if I was too scared to tell you? Like, I was like, Mandy, I believe in what I'm doing, and I still do 5 years later, but I believed in it so much. I was like, Mandy, you got to see this. Like, you got to hear this. This is, you know, something I believe is going to be really good. Like, just take a look at it, and you didn't have time, but you're like, just sign me up anyways, whatever, I'll figure it out later. I'm like, yeah, good idea. But you know,
Like, you know, the products, all of it. Just remember why you love it.
yeah, exactly. And, you know, we get scared because of that fear of rejection. And here's what I like to say. If you're not going to ask, someone else will.
100%.
If you're not going to do it, someone else will get there before you, and you're going to kick yourself because you're going to be like, dang, you're going to see them signed up. Someone else had the balls to drop it and say it. So if you weren't really that good friends with them in the first place and they defriend you, well, obviously you didn't want to work with them anyway, if that's how they react, right? Like if they're going to block you because you asked about business, you weren't that, you know, like
Yeah.
if you weren't that good friends in the first place, you didn't really lose anything. That's how I see it. Carrie, you want to say something? You unmuted.
And just always remember, like, I've been in it for 5 years now. Wow, it's crazy. And I just had a person join as a VIP after 5 years of watching me,
Yeah.
right?
Really
And,
tough.
but one way to transition a conversation to a business thing too is that we have opportunity videos, so use them, right? Say, hey, I really trust your opinion. Would you be able to just watch this video and let me know what you think about it? Right? Find out when they're going to think about it, when they're going to watch it, and then follow up with them. That's another way of just transitioning it right into the business and say, hey, if you don't like it, that's fine. And trust me, they still watch you. So don't get mad. Don't get frustrated. Don't take it personally either, because that's a big thing we take personally. We're women and we are horrible at that.
Yeah.
But you need to not take it personally. It is them not ready for what you're presenting to them.
Mhm. I love that. Love it. Thank you, Carrie.
Bye, Jen. Jen was rocking it right from the rink. How awesome is that?
That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, I think that was pretty much all I had to say about power hours. If no one has any questions, we could probably hop off, and I'll put the recording up tomorrow, and I'll put the PDFs below so people can reference them as in the comments. I'll put them in the comments in the posts. Yeah, if there's no more questions, did you guys find that? I think there were some people here that never did a power hour, so I'm sure they learned a lot today. And then people that have done power hours is probably more of a refresher and stuff like that. So there you go. And we'll have more topics every week. We're listening to what you guys want. We're seeing what you guys need, and we're going to come up with something every week. And we're going to have special guests and have some fun. So it's just only begun. So we're excited to see you guys every hump day. We picked hump day because we're like, it's a fun day. It's hump day. It's like get through the week, you know, get that midweek lull and have some fun with, you know, have some fun with us and humpity hump, hump, hump.
Thanks,
Oh,
baby.
All
bye,
right.
girls.
Bye, guys.